So this is the Asian Studies of Australia conference, and it happens once every 2 years, and it's a great opportunity to bring everybody who's working on Asia from Australia, but also from across the world, to come, in this case, to Melbourne and share ideas and look at some of those big challenges facing the world, and particularly Asia, and try and think of some creative and innovative ways that we can develop solutions.
The theme of the conference is social justice in the pandemic times. It's so important because during pandemic, we have seen there are many challenges, particularly for the multicultural and the Asian community.
The theme of the conference was social justice in pandemic times, and that was a theme chosen by the Monash team. So I think it was a really important theme that they thought through, and especially what happened across the region of Asia. In countries like India and Indonesia, the impact of the pandemic was just devastating.
One only has to look at things like access to vaccines in the Asia region to see the inequality. One only has to look at the way in which this pandemic has often hurt a lot of countries in our region disproportionately to what it has Australia. And what it really highlights is the importance as a region for us to have solidarity, for us to work together to promote economic equity, to a shared plan around climate change, and a shared plan around how we're going to recover from this pandemic.
It's really wonderful to see the coming together of students with such diverse backgrounds talking about a focus on Asia.
Because the shared challenges of our time require the entire world to be working together. Monash within that is a part of the connective tissue. It's a university that works through collaboration, works through partnering.
Those of us in the association are very passionate about Australians studying Asian languages and also studying Asian societies because we are so close to this region. Our closest neighbours are from Asia, so we think it's incredibly important that we understand our neighbours.
Most of the knowledge that we work with is outside of Australia. We often forget while we're overrepresented, 2% of the world's knowledge, 3% comes from Australia, the rest is outside. A massive part of that is now across the Asia Pacific.
It's not just about leading, it's actually also understanding how can we contribute to the region. And Monash is clearly at the forefront of that. The fact that it's now in Jakarta in Indonesia, Monash recognises the value of being part of this region and all the strengths that come with being part of the Asia region.
Herb is hosting this conference along with LLCL, so the School of Languages, Literature, Culture and Linguistics, and the Faculty of Arts. And we're hosting that alongside the ASAA.
The main goal of the Asian Studies Association of Australia is really to act as a lobbying organisation and a network for our members who all believe in the importance of Asian studies in Australia.
Right at the start, we wanted to have really impactful speakers. So we had Kon Karapangagiotis speaking, and he is such a powerful and persuasive thinker.
This conference, we're talking about really big global themes: climate change, the displacement of refugees, health inequity in the times of COVID. We can get so overwhelmed. And the thing I keep asking people to come back to is, what are you doing with your voice? What are you doing with your privilege? What are you doing with your power, your heart, your energy?
We've got plenaries, and what was really important to us was to have professors, of course, but to also give a platform for emerging scholars. So a lot of the sessions were really providing a platform for our early career researchers to showcase their work and their ideas.
A plenary session is a great session to have in a conference which is on social justice, because I think we got 3 perspectives from 3 different parts of the world, but they were all interconnected because they were about justice, they were about empathy, and they were about how digital means can be used to bring that about, especially in the pandemic.
The conference is very important, especially for scholars, educators, or even students who are thinking about how we might converse about the relationship between Asia, the Pacific, and Australia, and really thinking about how migrants or refugees and communities are actually working to address needs and moving forward to this equitable society.
The Asia Pacific isn't a monolith. It itself is composed of multiple countries, multiple cultures and traditions. Only by bringing people together, and in physical terms, it really helps to bring people together so they can have their discussions and dialogue. And dialogue is important. It goes beyond education. That discourse that happens in a multifaceted and communal sense is massively important as we define and then tackle the big challenges of our time.
So when we were planning the conference, we realised that we couldn't plan for in-person conference anymore because COVID had happened and we knew that people would have to cancel last minute. We knew also if there was an option of having people in person, we wanted to do that because the conference really needs people and needs interaction to make it kind of exciting. So we thought we'll do it hybrid. And we thought this is an Asian Studies conference. We don't want it to be just focused in Melbourne. So we drew on Monash's connections, and we have in-person hubs in India, Malaysia and Indonesia. And people can go in person there and Zoom into events here. And likewise, they can come in person here and Zoom into events there.
It was very exciting to be able to gather together. So we had around 620 registrations, but a lot of people have been able to meet in person for the first time in really 4 years. So that's been incredible. We won't see all of the impacts of the conference immediately because often people put together panels which then become books or special editions of journals. So I think we'll probably see a lot of publications come out as a long-term kind of effect of this conference. But for many of our authors, especially the early career researchers, they've actually launched in the last couple of days their first book ever. So it's incredibly important that they have a good audience to listen to what they've been working on for the last few years.
So I've just launched this book, which I co-authored with Dirk Tomsa from La Trobe University. So in this book, we kind of explore the question whether Indonesia deserves its label of a model Muslim democracy, and we trace democratic decline in Indonesia in the context of COVID-19. There's actually a lot of things that we can learn from a broader conversation of what's happening in Asia. So that's why this is a great platform for us to launch our book here.
So we really wanted to think about a way of making it more interactive. So we've developed the idea of having a virtual conference through Second Life, and you can make an avatar however you like. My avatar actually rides a horse. So I go around the conference place looking at the poster presentations. If there are other avatars, other participants in there, you can chat to them verbally or through the chat function. You can click on things to listen to people talking about their poster presentations. There's book displays in there. So we're really hoping that that just makes it a bit more interesting and creative for people who are only zooming in.
So we were shocked and very happy to see that we had about 90 volunteers. We only expected to get about 30. So they've been from across a range of Melbourne universities, including Monash. They've been given a taste of a large Asian Studies conference for a lot of them who are postgraduate and even bachelor and honours students who wouldn't have had this experience before, especially due to COVID.
This has been really nice in terms of I'll just walk up to someone who's presenting and we might ask about each other's research, but then we've had some really in-depth conversations as well, and that really feels like I get to know the person on a more personal level. Yeah, it's been a really encouraging atmosphere.
I'm looking forward to some of the outcome of the conference and the contribution from researchers, from the students, and from people all around the world into this particular theme.
Don't forget, forums like this are the beginning of a process. They launch future research programs and training and education and solutions-oriented explorations.
This conference, but we've also seen, especially our postgraduates, form new friendships and connections and new scholarly networks. So I hope it'll be the beginning of a more dynamic association and connections across Australia.
So I hope this conference can make Australia more closely engaged with Asia, but also that it puts the issue of social justice on our radar of a lot more people.
So what we can do is take our best ideas, to take our curiosity, our courage and compassion, and build connections. A lot of it starts with just an open heart and a curious mind. And from that, you can build anything together.